So next is bonded laboratory or bonded manufacturing. The following are the requirements of the bonded laboratory. First one is a spirit store. Means if a distillery or a rectified spirit warehouse from which rectified spirit is made available is not attached with the laboratory, a different store will be there, that is called spirit store. Room or rooms for the manufacture of medicinal preparations. One or more room for the storage of finished medicinal preparation. A separate room or arrangement for the manufacture of toilet preparations. A storage room for the finished toilet preparations. Accommodation near the entrance for the officer in charge with necessary furniture. Every room in the bonded laboratory should be a board indicating the name of the room and the serial number. The pipes from sinks or wash basin in the laboratory should be connected with the general drainage of the laboratory. The arrangement of the gas and electric connection should be such that the supply can be cut off at the end of day's work. Every window in the bonded laboratory would be provided with specific arrangement of malleable iron rods of prescribed dimensions, and the window should be covered on the inside with strong wire netting of a mesh not exceeding 25 mm. There shall be only one entrance to the bonded laboratory and one door to each of its compartments. All the doors shall be secured with excise ticket locks in the absence of the officer in charge. No alterations in the bonded premises shall be made without the previous orders of the excise commissioner. All vessels intended to hold alcohol and other liquid preparation should bear a distinctive serial number and full capacity. The vessels for the storage of alcohol, opium, hemp, Indian hemp, and other narcotic drugs and all the finished preparations on which the duty has been not paid should be a excise ticket locks. So this bonded laboratory or bonded manufacturer is very much important. This will be as for 10 marks or 5 marks. So these 13 points you have to write along with it. For the manufacture in the bonded laboratory, the rectified spirit shall be issued without the previous payment of duty, subject to the condition that the manufacturer enters into a bond in prescribed form with sufficient security. So in the manufacture in the bonded laboratory means the rectified spirit which will be issued previously before paying the duty, that has to be issued first, then the other has to be issued. Obtaining the rectified spirit from the distillery or spirit warehouse approved by the excise commissioner. How to get the alcohol from the warehouse? The spirit required for the manufacturing bond shall be obtained on an indent in prescribed form, countersigned by the officer in charge of the laboratory from the approved spirit store or the distillery. After receiving the duplicate of indent from the officer in charge of the bonded laboratory, the distillery or warehouse officer shall issue the spirit under the appropriate permit and send the advised portion of such permit to the officer in charge. The cost price of such rectified spirit shall be paid by the licensee to the distiller or warehouse officer. Means how you have to get, means first you have to write an indent in the prescribed form that you have to give to the excise officer or officer in charge, that he will countersign and he will give to the warehouse officer. Warehouse officer will check, sign, and then he will issue. To that you have to pay money that directly to the warehouse officer. Next, verification and storage of the rectified spirit received. So you have applied for 25 liter. Whether you have received 25 liter or not, you may receive sometimes less also. That you have to verify it. After receiving the rectified spirit, it is verified in volume and strength and entered in the registered. Then the spirit is stored in the spirit store. So you have to check for its strength also, because you might have applied for 90%, they might have sent 50% only. So that will be there. Issue of the rectified spirit from the spirit store for manufacture. So you have collected from the warehouse, now you have in the spirit store, means separate store in the manufacturing unit. From that you have to give for manufacturing. The licensee should calculate the requirements of spirit on the basis of the formula of the preparation in pharmacopoeia or in a formula displayed on the label and hand it over to the officer in charge. Means first the manufacturer has to calculate how much he required for the preparation, then he has to give that much requirement for the officer present in the manufacturing unit. Officer in charge shall then issue the spirit to the manufacturer. All rectified spirit issued should be added immediately to the other ingredients of the preparation in presence of the officer in charge. So how much you will receive, that much should be added in the to the manufacturing unit immediately in front of the officer. The manufacturing vessels like percolators charged with alcohol should bear a label indicating the name and batch number of the preparation, description and quantity of alcohol placed in it, date of removal of the preparation and the quantity of such preparation removed. So percolation means it will be an extraction process. You have kept alcohol with the some ingredient for extraction. So in that, for how many days it has to be extracted, that also you should be mentioned. On completion of the manufacture of a preparation and toilet, medicinal and toilet preparation, it should be removed to the finished goods store with the permission of the officer in charge. The licensee shall take specified quantity of the free sample for analysis in the laboratory. So once everything is done, manufacturing means, then it has to shifted to finished goods store. Then some amount has to be taken for further quality assurance purposes, that has to be taken in front of the officer. Next, storage of finished product. How we are going to store it means, finished preparation should be stored in bulk in jars or bottles, each containing not less than 2273 ml, means 2500 capacity. Tanks will be there or bottles will be there. The preparation ready for issue may be filled in the containers of not less than 57 ml capacity. In some cases, excise officer may authorize issue in smaller containers also. Every container should be labeled, and the label should contain name of the preparation, batch number, alcohol strength used, and name of the manufacturer. The label on the container in which the preparation is stored in bulk should in addition indicate alcoholic contents in liters, alcoholic strength and date of storage also. This is for the bulk containers. The containers are so arranged on the rack so as to allow the ready identifications of each batch. The finished preparations may be stored in the storeroom for a period of 3 years or more with the permission of the excise commissioner. So the finished product you can store for 3 years and more than 3 years also with the permission of the officer. Next, if you issue of preparation from bonded laboratory. So once manufacturing is done, then how we are going to issue it. For taking out the preparation from a bonded laboratories, the licensee should apply in the prescribed form to excise officer in charge. After checking the entries and realizing the duty payable, the officer in charge shall issue a permit and allow the required quantities to be removed. So how much he wants to be sell it or give it to the next person, on that if he has paid everything and everything is correct means, the officer will allow to remove. However, the issue of to another bonded warehouse may be made without payment of duty and proper security governed by the rules under this act. So if you are giving to any other bonded warehouses means, there you cannot get full payment also, because some security will be there. This is with respect to bonded manufacturing or manufacture in bond. So next is non-bonded laboratory or non-bonded manufacturing. It's also called as manufacturing outside the bond. Here the manufacture and sale in the non-bonded laboratory should be conducted between sunrise and sunset. Means it should not be 24/7. It should be done in the after sunrise and before the sunset only. And on such days and hours as may be fixed by the excise commissioner. So excise commissioner will fix here the timings also for manufacturing. In that time only it has to be manufactured. Building arrangement, what should be there means, the portion of the non-bonded laboratory should be separated from the other portion used for other business. There should be separate spirit store, laboratory and finished store. and these should have the windows fitted with the malleable iron bars, same as in the bonded laboratory. There should be only one entrance to the non-bonded manufacturer and one door to each of the above mentioned departments. All the pipes from the sinks and wash basins inside the non-bonded laboratory should be connected with the general drainage system as of the premises. The arrangement of gas and electric supply should be such that the supply can be cut off at the end of the day's work. There should be separate spirit store for the rectified spirit purchased at the different rates of duty. There should be separate finished stores for medicinal and toilet preparation for falling under each item of the schedule to the Act. Example, pharmacopoeial preparations with the items like aquas, elixirs, lotion, spirit means separate should be there for separate section, and non-pharmacopoeial preparations also. The state government may relax the provisions in case of small manufacturers whose annual consumption of alcohol is not more than 500 liters. Means if the manufacturer will be using not more than 500 liters per year, for them the duty will be less. And in case of those who prepare medicinal preparation for dispensing to the patients only and not for sale, means then for them some relaxation in the duty will be given. Obtaining the rectified spirit duty paid, how you are going to pay the tax and how you are going to obtain the spirit from the warehouse. To obtain the spirit for manufacturing medicinal and toilet preparation from the approved distiller or the spirit warehouse, the licensee should send an indent along with the treasury challan to the officer in charge of the distillery. Same, the cost of such a rectified spirit shall be paid by the licensee to the distillery or warehouse keeper. Same, the officer in charge of the distillery, after satisfying himself the correct amount of duty has been paid, shall order the issue of rectified spirit required together with a permit covering the issue. After entering the proper register, the spirit so obtained should be transferred to the respective spirit store. Next, manufacture and storage of preparations. How the manufacturing is done means, the manufacture of preparation from duties paid spirit should be carried out only at a licensed premises. Each preparation should be registered after its manufacture and given a distinct batch number also. All finished preparation should be transferred from laboratory to the finished store, and so arranged that they can be easily checked from the account register. Finished preparation prepared from rectified spirit obtained at different rates of duties should be stored separately in the finished store. So means the received spirit should be kept outside, then it has to be used in the manufacturing, then after manufacturing it has to be kept in the finished place. Their separate batch number has to be given and it has to be stored separately according to the category also. The finished preparation stored in bulk should be measured in the storage vessel to the nearest fluid ounce, that is 28.350 ml, and sealed. The quantities from the bulk storage taken out by the manufacturer from time to time should be entered in the stock card attached thereto. The excise officer, without any previous notice to the manufacturer, may take samples at least once a month for analysis. Means the excise officer may take the samples which are prepared for analysis, which will contain the label strength or not, to check that one. Exemption from duty. The following are exempted from the duty on medicinal preparation containing alcohol manufactured in India and supplied direct from a bonded laboratory manufacturer or warehouse. Hospitals and dispensaries under government are subsidized by the government. On that, the duty will not be taken. Charitable hospitals and dispensaries under local bodies, medical stores of government, any institution certified by district medical officer supplying medicines free to poor, and all this the tax won't be taken. The government has power to exempt any dutiable goods from the levy of the duty in the interest of the trade or in public interest. Means from these places, if they will supply alcohol also, they won't take the tax. This is about bonded and non-bonded laboratory.